We have a lot of travel that is coming our way. The fall is just super full for us. We have some cruises that we're doing. We have some work trips that we're doing. We even have a river cruise that's coming up in December. And I am really trying to find the best way possible to be as efficient with packing. I really needed to kind of add to my collection, and it took me a while to find a really good backpack. So yeah, let's dive right in. We started the search for a backpack. I knew I needed a new one, and I wanted to kind of find something that was a good investment, and we looked at a lot of backpacks. I love Peak Design. I think Peak Design is a really great option. It had all of these great pockets. I love the feature where you can tuck away the backpack straps when you're not using it. We also looked at a packed backpack, and we looked at an air backpack as well. That's actually what my husband went with, was the 28-liter air, and it has all kinds of really cool features. But in the process of finding a backpack, I realized I am kind of bougie and particular about what I need. And so I really had to hunt down something that I knew was gonna fit just for me. That was actually a challenge. I went through all kinds of stuff because I loved aspects of all of these great bags. Trying to find something that I knew was gonna be of good value, have a good warranty, have a good, guarantee that it's gonna get me where I need to go and carry the things that I need to carry, while making sure that I actually liked the bag. I didn't want to pick something that was just, yeah, it's gonna hold all of my stuff. Thankfully, I found this guy. This is the Away Commuter backpack. This ticked all my boxes. Now, again, I looked at several different backpack companies, but in researching the right backpack for me, I knew that there were a couple of things that I wanted. I want a minimalistic look. I wanted to have space for work and for leisure, just a really nice way to pack and store it under the seat, easy access to my things, but not so many pockets that I felt like I was gonna overpack. And I also wanted to make sure, and this sounds so incredibly bougie, I am one of those people where the hardware and the coloring, like, it's gotta all match. I don't know why, it throws me off, but that's what I needed. And this backpack fits all of that. I love it. So let's dive in. I'll show you some of the features of the backpack real quick. Right up at the top, there is a little zipper pocket. Now, it is not giant by any means. I can stick my hand in there. So it's small but mighty. I could see this for easy access to my phone or easy access to my wallet when I'm going through security. Again, nothing fancy, but the hardware and the lining for the pockets is exactly what I was looking for. And then right here, you have the large front pocket. This is basically where I would have all of probably my little office supplies. Now, of course, I love all of the digital technology that we can travel around with. I'm a Mac girl. My MacBook Pro and my iPhone, they go everywhere with me. I still carry pen and paper because I cannot help myself. And so this is a great option for me where I can stick my notebook and some pens for work. As I'm on the go, I can keep a rechargeable battery in here, and we use this little guy right here. This thing is fantastic. It has USB-C and just USB ports, and it lasts for a super long time. He's a little heavy duty, he's heavy, but again, he gets the job done. Fits great in these two netted pockets right here. It's also a very deep pocket as well. So I'm also a headphone person. I'm not an earbud person. So I had to take that into consideration when I was thinking about a backpack, knowing that I would need the room for that. And this fits all of those options that I needed with those deep pockets. You also have, of course, the little attachable keychain. That's not something that I typically use. Maybe I would use it if we were just doing kind of an overnight or day trip and I was just using this for work and we were going off somewhere to work for the day. Maybe I would use that for my car keys or things like that. But when we're doing any kind of travel, I haven't really found a great use for it yet. I'm sure I will eventually, but I do love that it's a feature. So that is a great front pocket option. Now, of course, we have work in the front. So we have party in the back here. And again, this is not a clamshell. I did not want a clamshell. I didn't want something that was gonna open up in the middle of the airport or in the middle of the plane and just all of my goodies exposed to every person on the plane. And of course, I'm kind of klutzy, and so I didn't want anything to kind of shift out, because then that would have just been an entire mess. My family can attest to that. But this had a really big pocket in it, and it has this one really deep pocket here, very large in here, and then two big pockets here, one with a zipper. This was all I really needed. Now I use compression packing cubes, and I'm gonna show you guys those in a minute. If we were going just on an overnight visit, I could absolutely just use this bag and a little crossbody personal item, and this would be all I need, because compression cubes, my laptop, my Kindle, all of those things are gonna fit in here with ease for that. So love the feature of this part of the backpack as well. Now it does have a laptop compartment in the very back here, and it's right back here. One of the things I loved about this bag, and I actually didn't even know that it was on here until we got it, is right here for the laptop compartment. The zipper right here actually has a little magnetic closure, and I thought that that was just too fun. Again, I'm one of those people, I guess I'm super particular, that I needed something here to stick it to. So there we are. But one of the things that is a little bit different about this laptop compartment than some of the other backpacks that I looked at, like Peak Design or Air, is great laptop compartment, great deep pocket, give it all kinds of work or all kinds of tech in here. The one thing to know about this backpack is it does not have that padded bottom. So some of the other backpacks that you may come around that are in this price point are going to have kind of what they would have like a lifted or padded laptop compartment. This doesn't have it. So you're going to have to make sure that if you use that compartment for your laptop, it needs to be in a padded laptop sleeve. Now I always travel with my laptop in a laptop sleeve anyway, so that wasn't really a concern for me. That was like, yeah, that makes total sense. But it's just something to be aware of. It's a super deep pocket. I have a smaller MacBook Pro, so this pocket actually would have a room for lots of work items or tech items that I needed. For me, I probably would only use this pocket just for my laptop, because I want to make sure that I'm not encroaching on the room in the bigger compartment when I'm packing and using it, especially if we're doing a long trip and I'm trying to maximize all the space in the backpack that I can. Again, this is just super cute closure. The hardware on this is fantastic. I love the extra strap for carrying up here. It's nice and padded and thick. It's not flimsy at all. And of course, in this backpack, you also have two pockets on this side. Again, I like a minimalist look, and so love that these pockets, when they're not in use, they can be zipped up, but you can unzip them. There's one on each side. Now, I'm an Away girl, and of course, this fits fine. Did I pick navy to go with my Briggs & Riley? I did. I can't help myself. And then my wallet, it's just kind of all in the same color scheme. I tell people all the time, I don't think I'm bougie. I am. I feel like I'm a packing bag princess. So there's my confession for the day. The straps are super comfortable. You can't tuck them away like you can in some bag designs, like for Peak Design. That doesn't really bother me. I feel like they are a great padding. They're a great size, and everything fits nicely on my carry-on. So I was totally fine with that. It certainly has the luggage strap too. And one of the things, and I don't know if I just missed this in the description or what I did, but there's actually a teeny tiny hidden pocket right back here. It's so like in disguise back here that I still haven't taken the tape and the paper off of the zipper because I forget about it. It is not a big pocket at all. This is something where if you're wanting to hide a little something while it's on your bag for the day, you got kind of a secret compartment back here. I would probably use it for maybe just to tuck something away when I'm using it. But honestly, I mean, I'm still sitting here talking to y'all about this backpack and I still forgot, I forgot about it. It has tape on the zipper still. So, you know, I gotta take care of that. It's totally fine. Now, I am 5'3" on a good day, and I am a little short and stout like a teapot. And I was really concerned about some of the backpacks that I was looking at, that would it look too big on me? Would I look like I just am, you know, kind of have this turtle shell on my backpack? that is a no for this backpack. This fits really well. Again, the straps are really good as far as me being on the shorter side and needing a good backpack. Everything felt very comfortable for this. It does have some adjustment straps, which are great. Everything feels really nice and sturdy. So I am really happy, again, knowing that it was gonna be an investment piece, but also seeing how high quality the bag is, that it checked off all of my boxes for our upcoming trips, knowing that it would get me to where I wanted to be in the best way possible. I'm not worried about this bag falling apart and can see this going with me kind of all over the place for many, many years. So I'm super excited that I added it to our collection. Now for the backpack, of course, she's got to ride on somebody, and I really kind of teetered about what kind of carry-on I was going to get as well. Now the Away Commuter backpack, she's brand new to the family, and so our upcoming trip that we're doing, I have several cruises coming up, and so we're gonna get to really test her out. But one piece of luggage, again, that was an investment is my Briggs & Riley. Now I have the Briggs & Riley Baseline Essentials 22-inch expandable spinner. Now I knew about this piece of luggage well before I purchased it, because my husband, who does a lot of travel, both domestic and international, has had a Briggs & Riley Baseline Essentials for many years. And so I loved this bag. I love the look of the bag, but the components of the bag were actually what really sold me on it. And of course I had to get a different color than him because I have to be special. But I am so happy to show you that bag. And of course it's kind of big, so we're gonna kind of look through it. It'll be fine. So here she is in all her glory. And so again, she's 22 inches and has 4 rollers. That was essential for me, and I think that most luggage comes like that now. Now again, there are some options from Away that when I was looking at the Commuter backpack, I was looking at Away's website and I was like, well, I need that now and I need that now, right? So I love their hard top clamshell suitcases and the carry-on size like this. But this is my go-to. I will have this piece forever. One of the things about Briggs & Riley, again, it's an investment piece, but Briggs & Riley has a lifetime guarantee on their luggage. That's pretty remarkable, and it is so well put together that I knew that I would be using it for a long time. If anything happened, you could reach out to them and they would be able to help you take care of your bag. So there are 2 pieces to this particular bag that were kind of the sellers for me. One of them is the handle for the luggage right here. As you can see, all of the hardware for the handle is on the outside of the suitcase. Now, typically you wouldn't think that that is such a big deal, but here's why it is so fantastic is once we open up the suitcase, you're gonna see I have a flat packing surface. I am not having to play Tetris and kind of figure out how I'm gonna get everything into a carry-on with these 2 giant bars in my way. So that was a seller for me. That was a seller for me. There's a little pocket back here for your umbrella. Do I use it? No. Have I forgotten it's back there? Yeah, look, there's even like a little luggage tag. That's fancy. Okay, that was the number 1 for me. Number 2, when we hop in here, you're gonna see the Briggs & Riley Baseline, and I believe some of their other bags have it too. There's a built-in compression system to this piece of luggage. And that's super important because you know that we're all trying to pack as efficiently as possible, take everything with us on the plane, and try to avoid the $50, $75, $100, however much the airline wants to charge you to check your bags, which is a whole nother video that we could probably talk about. But we're all wanting to pack efficiently. This bag, I felt like, has helped me do that on many, many trips. Now, I'm a lady, right? And I struggle to get 7 days worth of packing in here. Now, I do follow a gal on TikTok who is like my go-to packing extraordinaire, Riley Smith, on TikTok. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen her. She is fabulous and I love her, and I will reference all of her videos forever because I feel like I can always improve my system. But this particular bag she has reviewed before, and although I love the clamshell style, the compression system in this for me is hands down the reason I have this bag. Before we open it up, you do have kind of that smaller pocket right here. Of course, I love that when they have the smaller pockets with Briggs and Riley, that they're like this orange color, so you can't lose anything, and that's good for all of us that our eyesight's going. And then of course you have this really nice pocket in the front. Sometimes if I'm going with this and just like a crossbody carry-on, sometimes I'll even put my laptop in here, of course in a laptop sleeve because that's how I travel, but love this little pocket right here. It's very easy, and the hardware on my Briggs and Riley, it's just so well put together. Now, of course, the hardware is silver, it's not navy. It doesn't bother me on this. I don't know why it bothered me on the backpack. It's weird, it's weird. I love that there's a handle here on the middle, and then there's also a handle here at the top. Makes it getting it in and out of the top compartment on the airplane super easy. And then of course, once we go inside right here, ta-da! So there's a lot going on in this backpack, or excuse me, in this piece of luggage. There are 2 netting compartments. I typically put some really smaller items in there just that I need easy access to, but not necessarily have to have them in my backpack. One of the really cool features about this bag is there's this extra little compartment up here for some clothing if you want it. It's kind of a garment bag style, but it's built into the bag. And I do use that for like when we're going cruising. I will put some of my dresses in there. Helps everything just kind of lay nicely out. Nothing gets wrinkled. I say nothing gets wrinkled. I still travel with Downy Wrinkle Release that sometimes will work and sometimes doesn't, and it's totally fine. Now, here is the feature that I was talking about with this piece of luggage, and it's just why I love it so much. I'm not having to fight with bars when I pack up my bag. Everything is flat on the inside. Now listen, when you purchase this from Briggs & Riley, it's about a $750 suitcase, okay? That's high. That's high. And there's a lot of suitcases that are in that range. I don't mind investing in a piece as long as it checks most of my boxes. I would like it for it to check all my boxes, but as long as it checks most of my boxes and I know I'm gonna use it and I know I can maximize the space, I'm okay with that. Also, if you're even more bougie than me, Briggs & Riley will monogram it for you. That's, you know, you do you, it's totally fine. But I love the flat space. And also, let's talk about this compression system. So you have these 2 pieces on the inside where you can press up and it'll pull up for you, and then you can start to pack. So both of your little compression pieces will be out right here. You can just pack to your heart's content, right? I typically put my compression cubes in here with my clothes. I will put some other items that I'm not really needing, you know, big access to while I'm on the flight or anything like that. You get everything in, pack everything down, and then of course you just send it down as much as you need it to. That was a huge winner for me for this bag. So I've watched for years how my husband can travel both domestic and international with this bag in a dream, you know, so that's just how he's going. So I knew when it was my turn, this is what I was gonna be getting. Now, again, one thing to consider about this, and then when you're looking for a piece of luggage too, check to see if they have that lifetime warranty. You cannot go wrong with that. Look for that compression system too. Speaking of compression systems, I think everybody knows about these bags. I think everybody has talked about these bags, but I'm gonna talk about it with you too because it's totally fine. These are on Amazon. I think, really, I literally think that like the majority of people probably use these or some form of these. I know Air has some great compression packing cubes. There's a couple of other luggage companies that have great compression packing cubes. These are Bag Smart. They came in a set. I think I had maybe 6 or 7 pieces, and they're from Bag Smart. literally nothing fancy. I mean, it's just, you put your stuff in here and you go. I had 2 of these little small ones. These are great for toiletries, socks, not toiletries, oh my goodness. These are great for socks, they're undergarments, bathing suits, anything like that. And then of course in these, I tend to pack kind of in, categories, if you will. So shirts are gonna go in one, pants and dresses may go in one. Depending on how long we're gone, I may have one for leisure wear. It really just kind of depends on where we're going. The kicker to this is not only, of course, it's gonna zip up because it's a packing cube, but it is this extra little zipper right here that is going to take all of that air out. You're gonna squish everything down and everything is just going to compress for better packing strategy when you're really trying to have that carry-on only motif going. Now, one of the things that I have noticed about my compression bags is I tend to use the compression zipper when I'm packing for an overnight trip and I'm using a duffel bag and a backpack. When I'm using the Briggs & Riley, because it already has the compression system in it, I actually find that it compresses better when I don't use the compression zipper on the bags, because when you use the compression system on the bags, they get, of course, really tight, takes all the air out, but they can also be a little lumpy and very hard. So they become very unmalleable, if you will. You can't move them around a whole lot. So they kind of are just stuck in kind of the way that they kind of laid out when you compress them down. I have found that when I'm packing my Briggs & Riley, it actually compresses better if I don't have the compression zipper activated on my packing bags. So I use these for all sorts of things. I think packing bags are great to have. It really just kind of depends on what I'm bringing, what kind of luggage I'm using, and if I really need to be really efficient in packing, I try to play with it as much as I can just to see what's gonna fit. So with that being said, we're about to head to Fort Lauderdale for the week. And of course I have something in a bag here, just to kind of show you how the compression zipper works. So everything is in here and she's pretty full. Like there are a couple of dresses in here. There's a couple of pairs of pants in here. There's a couple of shirts in here because I am notorious for being an overpacker, and you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and admit to that. You know, Overpackers Anonymous, if you will. So, but one of the things about this is this compression zipper, I mean, it really does take it down to a nice size to where I feel like I'm maximizing all the room in whatever piece of luggage that I am using for that. So this is a great option to have. Again, they're on Amazon. I'm happy to leave links for everything below. And just if you need to reference them, we're not affiliated with anybody or sponsored by any, I mean, we're just here living the dream and going on trips. But you know, if we can share something that'll help you, great. So I'm gonna put that over here. As we're talking about packing, there's one other bag that I really try to squeeze in or take with me whenever possible. I love this company. I have several bags from them, and that is gonna be, this one in particular, this is the Crescent bag from Brixley. Now, the reason I love this bag is because it has these great sturdy straps, has a very easy washable material. I'm not worried about getting wet or dirty. It's easy to take care of, and it has some great pockets. But even with all of the pockets and the organization in it, including this kind of little secret pocket back here that's up against your body when you're wearing it crossbody style, my favorite thing about it is that it stays slim. And I really try to pack it to keep it slim and up against my body. This is something that I want the black one too. I do love them that much. This is a type of bag that I personally would take to Europe when we're going into port and we're doing some excursions if we've been on a cruise, or if we're in places like Paris or London for a couple of days. This is the easiest bag that I have found for me that is a great option to carry around, very easy, and I feel like it's secure as well. I tend to forget about security sometimes. You know, you're so excited for your trip and you're like, yes, we're going to a new city, or yes, we're going back to the city that we love. And you kind of get in this mindset of just, you're happy to be there and you want to see everything. I try to be mindful of knowing, you know, we live in a world where sometimes things don't, you know, they're not always positive and rainbows and unicorns, and that's totally fine. There's some pickpockets and there's some security issues, and you just want to be aware. So whenever I'm looking at bags, or whenever I'm trying to pack, sorry, that's kind of loud. Whenever I'm trying to pack, I try to make sure that I'm not only being efficient, of course, but is there some safety features? I think that Brixley does a great job with that. I also have a couple of their crossbodies that you would see on their website. They're kind of square. I have a navy one that is like such a good little go-to. She's kind of tiny, you know, she's small but mighty, can pack a lot of stuff. I mean, really all a girl needs is a credit card and a driver's license and a tube of chapstick. And that serves that purpose, right? I also have the clear crossbody. We are big SEC football fans, and when we are at the stadiums, of course, we're needing something with a clear body on it to be able to take in and out, and Brixley has a great design of a bag that fits that. And so I just absolutely love their company. They're great, and I'll have that link down below for you as well. This little bag, again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. The word of the day, people, is Amazon. There it is. But again, I found this on Amazon. I really liked this because I could fit all kinds of stuff and it lays out flat. So on cruise ships, we can have very little, you know, kind of space in the bathroom area, counter space, there it is. And so having something that can hold a lot of goodies, but lay flat, but then still shut up kind of tight to where it just kind of tucks into the side and easy to pack around as well. That's kind of a winner for me. This was not expensive, but it has lasted a good long while. It is super easy to pack. One of the things I liked about it too is because it does have that really square shape to it. I'm not having to pack around a squishy, odd-shaped bag. That drives me nuts. And so I would much rather have something that fits all of my goodies, have easy access to, but is easy to pack as well. Felt like it was kind of helping me get towards that more minimalistic approach of packing, where maybe I can go down from the, you know, hundreds of items that I need for my face, down to just a few and still feel, you know, glamorous and nice when I'm going out and have to be around people. There you go. Whenever we're cruising, I try to keep everything that we know we're gonna use in one area. I'm not always good about that. I mean, today we were even looking for something for a cruise and it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And that's life, friends, so it's totally fine. But there are a couple of pieces that I try to make sure that we have. One of the things that I really love, now I have this everywhere, even if we're not going on a cruise, I still have this with us wherever we're going, just because we travel with a lot of tech. We travel with a lot of camera equipment. My husband and I both, you know, can work remote, and we just have a lot of work and play that's going with this. This little guy right here, it's called a 1B. Again, we got it off of Amazon because, you know, Amazon is just where we all go to, and I get it. But I got it off of Amazon. I have never had difficulty taking this with me on a cruise ship. If you're getting something like this when you're going on a cruise, just be mindful of the size. Make sure that it's efficient. Make sure that it is not a power surger. Please don't bring like heavy, you know, I work for the electrical company equipment on there. Just don't do that. But something like this where you have some additional traditional plugs, you have some USB and USB-C. You're gonna want these, especially if you're going on some of the older ships. That's something to be mindful of, because some of the newer ships that are coming out, they are going to have all of the USB-C and USB plugs in the room. They've been very generous with that. We're going on the Star of the Seas in a couple of weeks for a preview, and I'm still gonna take this, but I also know for my time on Utopia, I may not need it as much as if I'm going something on, say, the Disney Magic, which she's approaching, you know, 27 years old, and so she's not fully equipped like you might have in some of the newer ships. This style is great to pack because it's slim, it's easy. She does have a little bit of a cord to her, but very easy to pack, very easy to have in your room. So it's certainly something to consider. Another thing that we like to travel with a lot, whether it's in hotel rooms at the beach or especially in a cruise stateroom, is this little guy right here. And this is a white noise machine. Now, of course, we love it because it's super tiny and super easy to pack. But if you have ever been in a cruise stateroom, for some reason at night, it's quiet, like Sound of Silence quiet. It's like the kind of quiet where it's too quiet and you cannot sleep, because then your brain is like, we should be up and fill this silence. So this is a must-have for the cruise. We also have a little fan that is just a little bit bigger than this that we like to take. It actually plugs right into a USB-C. And of course, sister here, you know, we're over 45 and fans and circulation and air conditioning are sometimes very important. You just gotta have it. You just gotta have it. We love that. Speaking of cruise, one of the things that I have seen a lot of people talk about, and it's kind of on everyone's like must-have list, right? And I think must-haves, I don't know. I think it just depends on what you're looking for your cruise, maybe even how long you're on your cruise. These are the metal hooks that everybody talks about. Again, as no surprise to you, I got these off of Amazon, right? So here they are in a big jumble because I just keep them in our travel box for things that we're getting ready, you know, when they go. These are super easy. Most of the cruise ships, the walls in your stateroom are going to be magnetic and you can sit these right on the wall. We have used these before. Sometimes we hang hats, sometimes we hang our lanyards. To be honest with you, I would not say that these are a must-have. They're nice. They're a great addition to have in your bag because they're super easy to pack. Have I been on sailings where I've completely forgotten that they were in our luggage, and did I really need them? No. I mean, I wouldn't say that I absolutely was just devastated if these weren't in my bag for my stateroom. Again, they're great to have, especially if you're on a ship where you like to wear a lanyard all the time. I know that there's some other technology out there for some cruise lines, which is great, but sometimes you just want a little spot by the door to hang your lanyard. These are good for that, but I wouldn't say that they're a must-have. Like if you don't have them, they're gonna ruin your cruise. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but they are a great addition. Now, I, again, am pretty particular. I never really thought I was particular before until I started my hunt for this backpack. I had the backpack to end all backpacks, right? And the things that I was saying no to were just so silly. But here we are. There are a couple of things, again, when I start packing, I'm like, okay, I am that person. I'm just gonna own it and it's totally fine. One of the things that I cannot travel without, I can't even be in the house without, if we're gonna be really honest. I mean, it's sitting here on my desk while I'm talking to y'all and I'm like, I probably should put more of that on. And it's totally fine. I will not go anywhere without this chapstick. I even have the other part to it too, the lip balm. Now, I'm not gonna say the name of this company, not because I can't say it on camera, but because I will butcher the name of it, but I love it so much. Now, I'm also one of those people when it comes to chapstick, our lip balm, you have your car lip balm, you have your purse lip balm, you have your backpack lip balm, you have your office lip balm. I even have a sofa lip balm. It's totally fine. You know, you do you. But I do travel with 2 of these all the time. They have to be easily accessible. Yay! That makes me happy. Another thing I love is the Touchland spray, the hand sanitizing spray. We use this all the time. It's a little pricey, I totally get that, but I actually love it. And it smells nice, it doesn't smell like alcohol, and my hands always feel kind of nice and soft after. So I always have that in my bag too. Let's see what else we carry in our little, I mean, I even have a cute little bag to put all my stuff in. That's just so silly, isn't it? So Tums, right? I mean, as you get older, I feel like those are a staple. Contact Wearers Unite for some eye drops. And I don't know if this is for everybody, but whenever we are on a plane and we're doing some flying, we're going to Fort Lauderdale or we're going to Paris, wherever we're going, it is dry. It is dry. I use up more chapstick and eye drops and hand lotion, and I try to get unscented when I'm in the plane. Because I certainly don't want to bother anybody around me, but I also don't want to have like horrible dry cracky hands because that's just so uncomfortable. But I try to have all of those essentials very easily accessible. I also try to make sure that we have water. We travel a lot with Propel and the liquid IV too. That has always helped us, especially with long flights. But again, in my little bag, I'll have some of that liquid IV in here. Neosporin and Band-Aids because your girl here is a klutz and it's fine. Tylenol and Motrin. Now, one of the things that I also always have with me is, of course, I do have some cough drops. They are just always there just in case somebody needs it. But we, of course, we love cruising. We are cruising all the time. If we're not on a ship, we're thinking about when we're supposed to be on the next ship or planning to be on the next ship. Here we are in July, August of 2025. I'm already thinking about 2027 and 2028. There's some cruise lines that we love that are going to Japan, and I think we're just gonna make that happen. Y'all should totally go with us. One of the things that I am a huge fan of, because I know that people can get a little nervous about motion sickness. We bring these Dramamine ginger chews. Now, they are fantastic and they are very instant acting. I actually saved a couple of colleagues on a cruise one time when we were there for work. I mean, we were in some rough seas. It was January, it was the Western Caribbean out of Galveston. The ocean was just not having it that day. She was like, I would really just not like to have any ships on me today. And I totally get that. And so she was rough. These saved a lot of my colleagues. And so I love to have them whenever I can. I have had some family members and some friends of ours that have had great success with the patch behind the ear. That is very popular. We see people on the cruise ships with those all the time. So I know that they have a great effect. We've seen the C-bands too. Now we do have the Dramamine pills with us whenever we travel, again for air travel or cruise. I have just found that these actually work the best. A couple of weeks ago, my family and we actually went to Epic Universe, which is amazing and everyone should go. But I knew that there were some pretty rough and tumbly roller coasters and things like that, lots of motion on those rides. And I was like, oh, I want to enjoy myself, but I also don't want to feel miserable. These were key. I passed these out to everybody like candy. I was like, nobody gets sick. This is what we need to have. So these were great even to have in the theme park. So again, they're kind of with me. They're like number 2 after chapstick is what Brandy's gonna have in her bag. Love, love, love this. I also have this really quick. I just keep everybody as your friend. Just bring some poopery. It's fine. It's totally fine. We love to have just like a little mirror just in case as well. Have I been 30,000 feet up in the air and needed to take my contact out? Yep. This is really great to have. This little gadget, this was on Amazon. This was not expensive. I found it from my little guru that I watch, Riley Smith. This is a little converter kit for USB and USB-C. And it's actually come in handy a couple of times. I just thought, oh, I'll just buy this, because it's cute and why not? I actually have used it a couple of times, so it saved me a little bit for that. Last but not least, we sometimes lose things. It's fine. And I'm talking about like when we lose things, like we're in the house and we lose our keys. And the one thing that will save us is air tags. And we even put these in our luggage. We absolutely put these in our luggage if we ever need to check anything. These have been a lifesaver for all kinds of reasons. Now I will tell you, we get these on Amazon and we only get them during Prime days when they're kind of at their lowest point, price point. These are fantastic. In fact, we're packing today for a trip. We're going to Fort Lauderdale. We're actually leaving tomorrow. And we had a new pack of these and we have them in our backpack and we have them just everywhere that they need to be just for safety. My children have them and I call them, they are my babies, but they're in their 20s. They still have them though. right? You know, just in case mama needs to know. So these are some great items. I love all of these items. I would love to hear if there's like a must do or a must have that you need when you are packing for your trip. I feel like for as much as I've traveled, you know, and for as much as we're going to travel, I'm refining my system all the time. I'm trying to be more efficient, making sure that I'm bringing the things that I need and not overpacking. That has been a real challenge to kind of figure out, but there are some things that I also know are comfort items, and I'm gonna make room for those comfort items, and I think that that is just great. I'm totally fine with that. It's just how I travel. I love to always be at the airport and see everybody set up. I think that that's so interesting. You know, what works for somebody may not necessarily work for somebody else. I also love being on a cruise because you can kind of see what everybody else does, and you just learn something from fellow travelers all the time. It's one of the reasons we also like to travel. We love the community, and it's so much fun. Let us know what you guys have down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from y'all, and we will see you guys soon. Take care.